Information is power. Information is power.
Tell the truth.
Today I want to really actually talk a little bit of science. I know. And I want to talk about this new UK variant.
Information is power.
Tell the truth.
Information is power. Tell
the truth.
truth.
Peace, everybody. Peace. Information Man Show. Peace to you, everybody. Thank you for being here. Let me know if you can hear me. I'm not going to be on long. I want to get right to the point tonight. I got an announcement too, because I'm doing this video for two reasons. One, I want to just talk about briefly, because I have a 6-minute video to show you from all the chaos that happened today. But I want to remind everybody, or let everybody know, that I'm going to be on tomorrow on Raw B's program tomorrow evening. And what I want you all to do, let me put a picture. And I want to say peace to everybody that's come into the chat room. I know it's late at night. I'm not expecting a lot of people to be here at this time of the night. But we'll see what we'll make it do. And this is Raw B right here. Raw B, Privilege. This is her channel. And you see her name and everything in big letters there. I want you guys to write that name down. Remember that name. Tomorrow evening, I will be on her show. We're going to be talking about COVID, you know, the virus and all that sort of stuff. She has dug up a lot of important documents exposing the Biden administration in terms of his team that he had working around him. Some of the plans that they actually had, that they were trying to target black people as it relates, as it relates to the vaccine, and making sure that they could bundle it into things like your WIC programs and various benefits that you're getting from the government. So we're gonna expose that tomorrow, because she's found the documents. She's dug those documents up. And we're going to explore all of that and a few other things. So Raw B, as you can see on the screen, I need everybody that's following my channel, and this is why I'm doing this late like I am right now, because I want this to play all the way into tomorrow, where people can watch this tomorrow and come on over to her channel. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send out the link to the live stream that we'll be doing. It'll be a panel style live stream. I'm going to send that link out through my social media, and hopefully a lot of you will get it. I'll put it in the community tab so that you guys will know that we're going to be on. I really would like everyone to come on over and show her some support, because what we're going to be talking about on her platform is going to be very important, very mind-opening. And over there, we do what I call professional panels. We have intelligent conversation. People are not arguing with each other. We may have a few differences here and there, but we're able to intelligently talk as black people without it being ratchet and arguing and all this other nonsense that you see that goes on a lot of times on some of these panels. So I see it as a professional panel because we have intelligent people, first of all. Secondly, people that are very analytical, think critically, use data, can cite history, not someone just talking off to the fluff of their brain cell, but someone who actually is learned. She's a very intelligent sister, so come on over and join that tomorrow. I just wanted to put out a plug because I told her that I would bring this up to everybody that's coming to the chat room. Let me go right ahead and see who we have in the house right now. So we've got Back to the Basics. We got Jay Sean. What's going on? He's out there in Germany. I hope you're doing fine out there, brother, with everything that is happening. Let me know, everybody, if you can hear me. I'm always concerned about the sound and volumes. Let me know if you can hear me. We're broadcasting as well into Periscope, so I want to say peace to everybody out there in the Periscope family that's checking me out over there in Periscope. I have a small following over in the Periscope area, so I appreciate the people over there that come over and check me out when I go live over there. Let me see. We've got no log the most. If not sure why I'm up, most be information I need. My spider senses are tingling. Hey, peace to you. No lodging. We got Zero Infinite in the house. Jay Dunn is coming in the house. 2020 AIM is in the house. And let me get right into this now. Thank you for coming over. I know it's late for a lot of people, but the people that came in, Purple Paisley, I don't know if the sister is still up, but if you are, thank you for coming over here. We got Felicia Fee. We got Patience in the house. And let me know if my sound is okay, if I'm sounding okay through my mic. Well, we got Christina is in the house. Thank you for being here, sister. Let me know if my sound is okay by putting a 1 in the chat room. I want to make sure that my sound is, is decent, so that you guys are not hearing any distortions. And yes, Happy New Year to you, sister. You sound great. Thank you. I really appreciate that, Crystal. Thank you a hell of a lot. So let me get into this. Let me tell you, everybody, it's been, and I got a video that's going to really blow your mind. I know a lot of you have seen what's been going on today in the Capitol, in the Capitol in Washington, D.C. And I've got a nice video I'm going to show you that's going to bring it all together, because I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to say this right now because people, to the bottom of my heart right now, imagine if that was black people having a gathering in Washington, D.C. to protest the government. Imagine if that was black people breaking into the Capitol building. Imagine if that was large numbers of black people who were taken to the streets saying, we're going to go to the Capitol. Imagine if President Obama was in office and he told black people, yeah, go to the Capitol and show them something, show them up. Imagine if that was black people. I want to know, by people writing in the chat room, what do you think would have happened to black people had we did what they did? Because this is what they're not telling you, which I've been listening, keeping my ears to what's happening, is that, and some of you probably have heard this, although on some of the video footage of this incident in Washington, D.C. with Trump supporters breaking into the Capitol, busting out windows, what they're not telling you, or they're not emphasizing enough, and I heard Don Lemon talking about this on his show tonight on CNN, that you had Capitol Police, you had police out there that were taking selfies with these people, that were being kind of friendly with them. Remember I did the video that everybody slept on about the footage that I showed you that showed that they're saying that the police have been taking a hands off or sort of being very mild and polite to some of these militia groups out in the streets. And these Trump supporters, same thing. So before things really got crazy, they've been asking the question, why is it that there wasn't any, where was the, what can I say? Why was the security very lax? Where was the security? What was going on with security? You know, when black people say that we're going to march on Washington, like when we had the million-man march, you know, when we say we're going to march anywhere in this country, you're going to have law enforcement all over the place. They're even saying that when you look at the protests during the summer with the Black Lives Matter, and this ain't about what you feel about, whatever you feel about Black Lives Matter, you have the right to feel about, because I have my issues too. They have a website which doesn't talk much about black men, but they've made their bones off of the death of black men, their fame off of the death of black men, but the police did not treat these protesters that you saw today in the way that they treated Black Lives Matter protesters, or the way they have treated black people when we are in full throttle in our protest. They will neutralize us. You saw, and the reason why I think the security wasn't as tight as it should have been is because of Donald Trump. Donald Trump, you all saw over the summer when he had every form of law enforcement that drove all those people away from the White House, just like that, so he could take that picture next to the church. And by the way, the people who run that church said they felt that that was very disrespectful what he did, because he's never walked a day into the church that he took that photo op next to. That's Donald Trump. So what do you think? How would black people get felt? So if North Bell's been hidden, good. Get these. I don't want any trolls in here. If anybody come in trolling, get them the you-know-what out. We got my man Uncle Franks who's come in the house. Greg Harris, what's going on? He said white privilege was at play here. The mayor called for extra security the day before. They sent no extra help. That's right, the mayor. Right. So basically what I'm trying to say is that in a nutshell, why did this all play out? Why were clowns like this able to walk into the Capitol building? Look at this. Right? Or check this guy out right here, who's part of the protest. He goes into the Capitol building and he puts his feet up on the table. Right? Now, some of you may say, well, info, we don't really care. You know, the government is run by white people. Black people don't really have a stake in it. We don't have any control. So why should we be concerned? Because, you know, this is white folks doing this. Well, yeah, it's white people rioting in this society. That's why I put the description of this video in the way I did. United States Capitol riot, a battle within white America, because this is white America who's fighting with each other. If you look in those videos today, in those pictures, you see very little to no black people really out there involved in this. Matter of fact, I'm kind of curious as to know, where was all the black Trump supporters? Where were they at? Why weren't they not out there? They're the same ones that will come at you real tough and hard on YouTube, talking Donald Trump this and Donald Trump that. Where were they? Probably at home, because they knew that if they were out there, they were not going to stand a chance. See what this was. This is white privilege at its best, but this is a battle with white people against white people, and I'm calling it as I see it. These are white men who are angry with the system. They feel that they've been that the freedoms have been taken away from them. They are not happy about the fact that you had about, what was it, 2 states. You had Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, you had Georgia. They were not happy that you had states where black people came out in high numbers and voted. And Donald Trump, along with his Trump supporters, wanted to devalidate the election. And they especially focused. I want y'all to, let me see here. Where's this other picture that I want to show y'all? This is they'll tell you that, you'll have people that'll tell you that, well, there's no Donald Trump supporters. Not all Donald Trump supporters are racist or believe in white supremacist type of principles. Well, let me show you something. Here's a Donald Trump supporter right here. Walked right into the Capitol building with the Ku Klux Klan flag. That's what that is. However, we know darn well that flag has donned that Capitol for many, many years. You've had senators and congressmen back in the day, the Dixiecrats and Republicans who were from the South, who used to wear lapel pins in the design and shape of the Confederate flag. So seeing the flag walked into the Capitol, black people out there, if you're listening to me, don't take it. Don't feel irate by it. I didn't take it as wow, this is terrible. I just thought that the flag, in my opinion, it went back to its rightful place. Okay, it went right back to its origins. And one of the things that I noticed, did any of you guys notice this in the chat room, and you can make comments about this, that you notice that, yes, they broke out glass and they banged on doors to get into the place. And they went into the chambers and were sitting down and doing all sort of things like, let me show you something. Let me show you something. But this is the thing that I noticed. You see those pictures up there with all that history, all these slave-owning politicians that are on the wall here? You notice one thing with all of their rioting today, not one of those pictures were taken down or damaged. They didn't do any harm to the historical monuments. They didn't do any harm to the historical pictures in the Capitol. Because even though they were upset about the fact that they didn't feel that Donald Trump got a fair trial, election, that Donald Trump didn't get a fair election, they were upset and pissed off about it. And Donald Trump himself, let me put this picture up here because I'm going to tell you right now, Donald Trump is responsible for this because it was Donald Trump who put the batteries in their backs. It was Donald Trump who went out there during the rally today and said, go to the Capitol. He told them, go to the Capitol. So everything that happened out there, he's responsible for. There were 4 people. 1 woman died. 3 people injured. The woman was shot because Donald Trump's followers, and I don't care what anybody thinks of what I'm saying here. I don't care if people are listening that are Donald Trump supporters. Donald Trump's followers and what he has created is not a political party. It's a cult. It's a cult. Because what is the criteria that make up a cult? That you have people that are willing to do anything that you tell them at a drop of a dime, even if it risks themselves being killed. Let me show you what I'm talking about. I got so much to show you right here. You see, the security within the chambers, the people were breaking the window. It was like Night of the Walking Dead in the Capitol. Do you understand me, folks? Night of the Walking Dead in that Capitol is what it was like. That's what it was about. You can see a little face peeking through there. These people are risking their life. These cops, these security or Secret Service men, let me say that, they could have shot them right then and there. But that's what a cult does. When you are a member of a cult, which is what Donald Trump supporters are that went out there and did this, is that you are so fixed in your belief. It's a delusion. And what cults really usually have in common is that when you have a cult, you usually have a leader that is highly narcissistic, personality traits, which Donald Trump has, egotistic, and usually people who lead cults are sort of nutty and insane themselves, like Donald Trump. Now, he was shut down off of Twitter for 12 hours today. They should have permanently kicked him off of Twitter. So he's tweeting out all kind of stuff. And even after everything that happened today, he said that those are very special people. Remember, he said in Charlottesville that those were very good people out there as well. So he has issues. Now, you see here down in the corner, you got this sister right here. She got her mask on. And you can tell she's probably security as well, but you could tell she's probably saying, God damn it, I wish I didn't come to work today. I wished I would have stayed my butt home is what she's probably thinking to herself. Why didn't I stay home from this nonsense? So the thing about this, folks, that you got to really understand that's interesting about this whole situation, ladies and gentlemen, is that you didn't see very little, you didn't see a lot of historical pictures being tore down because despite, like I said, despite their anger, their wanting to protest, their attitude that they felt that they're patriots, that they're fighting against tyranny, they still had enough respect to respect their own culture. That they weren't going to they might have disrespected going into those chambers and busing into the building, but they weren't disrespecting the historical pictures on the wall. They recognized that that's their culture. Now, let me show you something, because I'm going to bring up a movie that I'm hoping that some of you have seen in the past. Let me put this right next to me, if I shall. Now, what you see there, this was crazy. The white guy is hanging from the ceilings. So they're climbing up on stuff. They're getting up on, he got on top of the balcony. Now he's hanging off like he's Spider-Man, right? This is what was going on. Imagine in your mind, come on now, imagine if this was black people busing into the Capitol, hanging on stuff like that, right? Creating a muck. Right? I've said this before. In America, they target black men. They say that black men are the threat, or black organizations are the threat. Right? Yet, we have never done any of this kind of stuff. Right? The police are shooting us. The police are harming us. The police are profiling us when they should be profiling people like these Trump supporters. They're the real threat to American democracy, not black folks. I'm going to bring you back to this picture right here again with old Billy Bob hanging out in one of the chambers. So you got Billy Bob on the side with his foot all up, and you got this kid here, this dude, this guy here who I guess he thinks he's a mountain climber. Let me just say this to you. How many of you in the chat room have seen the historical movie, The Birth of a Nation? The original Birth of a Nation movie was a movie. Let me come back over here. The original Birth of the Nation movie was a movie that first is the origins of cinema. So it was the Birth of the Nation movie that really put the movie industry to where it is today. It was the first. It was a silent picture, the first of its kind, and they said at that time when it came out that it was truth written in lightning. And what they did is they depicted a period of time in which black people were no longer slaves. And that once we came out of slavery, we were going to savage America. We were going to break into the Capitol, take over the government, just like you saw what they did today. They did a depiction of black people breaking into the government, taking over, sitting down on tables like this man right here, right? And putting our feet up in an unruly manner. And let me fix something here. Putting our feet up in an unruly manner. So he's got his foot up. In the Birth of the Nation movie, they showed black people eating fried chicken in the political chambers. Yes, they did, ladies and gentlemen. Check this movie out. Silent picture. They had their feet up on the table with no shoes on. They were portraying black men as animal and out of control, and that we've got to stop these black men because they're going to take over our country. You see why Donald Trump always says that word? What is that? What does he always say? Come on now. What does he always say, ladies and gentlemen, in the chat room? What is the thing that he always says? We're going to make America what? Great again. Right? And I thought I had my Make America Great Again. Oh, I know what I can do. I'm going to pull it up real quick. Here we go. Boom. So let's get right to it. Donald Trump always says this. Hang on for a minute, folks. And here we go.
America great again.
Let's hear it again.
We will make America great again.
The word make America great again is part of the cult lingo that Donald Trump is good at doing. He's a hustler. You see, I didn't like Donald Trump even before he became president because he was a hustler in New York. I didn't like how he treated the Central Park Nine. It's funny how black people who decide to support this man sort of marginalize his involvement and how he demonized 5 black men. Yet we claim we love black people. Yet we claim, yet we claim we got to be together, we got to stick together, we got to work together. Yet he demonized 5 black young men, and he also did housing discrimination, and black people were impacted by that, telling them they had to walk to the back side of the building. You go in the back, just like they used to do us back in the day. So Donald Trump says, make America great again, which is a dog whistle, as you already know, for make America white again. And then secondly, in the movie Birth of the Nation, they were angry and upset because they felt that black men were going to take over the country, that we were being unruly. So in that movie, they depicted us taking over the government, tearing everything up, eating fried chicken, all the stereotypes, feet and toes all out on these government tables. Just like this hillbilly right here has got his feet all out on that table. And then what they did is they showed the black man savaging after the white woman. And they could not have that. So what they did in the Birth of the Nation movie is that they depicted the Ku Klux Klan. They showed how the Ku Klux Klan got started, that there was a stereotype that black people were scared of ghosts. That's how it all started. So because they felt that black people, there was this old belief in the South that black people were scared of ghosts, which is why they came up with the idea of putting sheets over their head and putting that little pointy thing, hoodie over their face. And the whole idea behind the Ku Klux Klan in that movie and in real life was that it was formed to keep black people, black men in particular, in control and to keep us from savaging the country. And most importantly, going for their women, because you see, they put their women on a pedestal. And they didn't want, and so the notion was that black men would savage after white women. That movie was dangerous because it impacted black people in this country. Now, flip it back to that, and that movie came out in the early 1900s. It was one of the first films. Flip it back to today, and they've been profiling us. In New York, they had the Stops and Frisks program where they were stopping black men and frisking them for weapons. And today in Washington, D.C., it was white men who stormed the Capitol building, had weapons, who were doing mischief behavior. I'm going to show you the video in just a minute. Yet, they keep portraying the black male image as the image of being a savage, an image of being unruly, and yet they were the ones unruly. Now, for the first time ever, I heard on some of the media today them calling them terrorists. They're domestic terrorists. They're terrorists. That's exactly what they are. And their leader, this is Donald Trump. What Donald Trump did today is no different than what Hitler did when Hitler had his brown shirts. Remember, Hitler had a group of soldiers or men that were ruthless that they called the brown shirts. And so whatever Hitler would tell people, they were willing to do for all out dying loyalty. We saw it. He was willing to throw Pence under the bus today to get his way. The reason why I'm making a big deal out of this is because when I look at this and what happened today and I analyze it, I say, wow, it's interesting how white people, white men in particular, are so angry. They feel that they're losing the country. They're losing their touch on reality. They're willing to sacrifice themselves for some white dude who's never been poor a day of his life, a white dude who's had all the privileges. That's Donald Trump, who's had all the privileges all his life. Most of the people that support him are poor white folks who have not a damn thing to do in common with Donald Trump, but they're willing to do his bidding. Because in themselves, it's just like when LB was in office as president. You give them someone to look down upon, and they'll pick their pockets for you. So Donald Trump gives them someone to look down upon. He talks about every other group. So you had angry white people who stormed the Capitol. And for the most part, when they got there, from all accounts, the police were being friendly with them. The security was very lacking. They were able to get in there, create havoc, and you know that black people in this country would have never been able to do that. We can't even protest in our own neighborhood. Remember my brother, Can We All Get Along? Back in the day, that brother was beat down by the police in Los Angeles, and you had those riots in Los Angeles, and most of it was in South Central LA, and they did everything they could to mess with us when we were when people were rioting. Anytime black people do anything, even before we do anything that is destructive, they already prepare heavily for us. I did a video. Come on, don't sleep on this, folks. I did a video early last year about, 3 black women in Oakland, California, West Oakland. They're homeless. I think it was black women for homeless black women. They were advocates and they were homeless. They were occupying a home in West Oakland, and the police brought riot gear and all kind of militarized equipment to drive these black women out. Just 3 black women to drive them out. They did more damage to the house to get these women out. And you had all these folks today in Washington, D.C. that went out there, got all pumped up because Donald Trump put a battery in their backs. They got all pumped up and full of themselves today. Let me show you something else. Look at this picture right here. So like I said, they were prepared to shoot him. You got these politicians running for their life. All because this man right here don't sleep on the fact that the states that they were questioning the voting on were states where made up of large numbers of black people who came out in large numbers to vote. and Donald Trump target those particular states that he wanted to say that the voting was fraudulent. Guess what? Donald Trump and his cult following, which includes these Republican politicians, they had over 60 attempts at trying to file legal complaints. It all got turned away. From the Supreme Court to the lower courts to the middle courts, they went any and everywhere they could to hear that someone would hear their nonsense. And every court in our country said one important thing. There was no evidence. There was no evidence of what he was saying when he said about voter fraud. If there was evidence, don't you think they would have been able to decertify this election? There was no evidence. And Trump supporters are what we call, they're delusional. They're in denial, which is why they ran out there today and did what they did, because they had their man, Donald Trump, put that battery in their back and give them some courage. When in the history of this country, when we had the Million Man March, they were concerned that black people were going to get unruly out there because they see us as animals that we can't be disciplined. When black people got together and Farrakhan called for 1 million black men, it was the most peaceful gathering. I was out there, the most peaceful gathering that black men have ever had, black people have ever had in this country. Nobody was fighting. Nobody was disrespecting anybody. People were being polite. People were listening and celebrating. But the country was shaking in their boots. Oh, why are black people? Anytime black people have a gathering, people start looking at us. What are they going to do? Are they going to rob? Are they going to do something violent? You know, you ever notice that when you were a kid, as a teenager, even as an adult, when you go out? Just check it out for yourself. When black people go out in groups, black men, black women, or just black people, and we go out and we're together in large numbers, everybody gets nervous.
Tell the truth.
Everybody gets nervous. Now, all these white folks went out there today in the name of Donald Trump. They broke into the Capitol building. They tore some stuff up, broke windows. They're hanging on stuff, doing all kind of ruly stuff. And I'm going to say it again. This is the typical Donald Trump supporter. Yes, it is. Now, check this out. This shows you how these white folks, and I'm going to call it as I see it, white America was going buck wild today or yesterday. Depends on where you are in the world right now. They were out of control. You see, this ain't got nothing to do with us black people, because black people are not responsible for Donald Trump being in office. White America is responsible. I think white men voted for him somewhere between 59%, 56% the first time around. White women were somewhere around 54%. White men were somewhere close to 60%. He only got 8% of the black vote the first time he got in office. So when you break it down in that way, black people, I'm telling you, we're not responsible for Donald Trump. Donald Trump is white people's problem. This is their problem that they created, and which is why you've got white people out there crawling on the Capitol like they're Spider-Man. Look at that. Just look at that. Hanging on the building like Spider-Man, Spider-Man, whatever a spider can. And one of the things that I did enjoy today is that you didn't see many black folks out there. I've been saying this. Anytime you see something like this, we need to stay out of it. It ain't our problem, black people. Black America, listen to me. This is not our problem. Stay out of it. It's got nothing to do with us, black America. This is not our problem. You didn't see too many. I like to know, where was all those black people who went to see Trump last year talking about black folks for Trump? Where was they all at? See, even black Trump supporters had enough sense to know to stay their butts home out of this mess. So they're crawling up here like animals. Everything that they were doing today that was an embarrassment to the country, it was an embarrassment to the world. Everything that they were doing today is what they have been trying to predict and say that black people would do. That we would be the ones that would be the animals. That we are the ones that are inferior, right? When you had eugenics in this country, which psychology came out of eugenics, they were trying to say that black people were inferior. We had inferior brains. Yet, tell me when you've ever seen black people in modern time like this, or any time in this country, break into political buildings. Look, the Black Panther Party that was founded in Oakland, California. They went up to the state capitol in Sacramento, California, which is Sacramento, California is the state of is the capital of California. They went up there with their guns, with the bullets not in the chamber, because in California at that time you could carry the gun out, but you couldn't have a bullet in the chamber for whatever the reason. They went up there and they marched and they demonstrated. They never broke into the state building like those militia group did in Michigan. See, all of this stuff has been in momentum, right? Donald Trump instigated in the Michigan situation too. He's been cooking this soup, this nasty soup up for a while now, stirring the pot, saying that the election was not legal, saying go to the Capitol and show them that we're not going to let you take the election. And that's exactly what they did when he put those batteries in his back. When the Black Panther Party went to Sacramento to protest, they didn't break into any chambers. They weren't threatening anybody. They demonstrated their discipline. But they weren't doing all this stuff like this, climbing up on stuff like Spider-Man, breaking into buildings, going into people. They were going into these people's offices and ramshacking things around. You didn't see the Black Panther Party do that. And even when the Black Panther Party went to Sacramento, California, guess what the police did? They took their guns from them, which they had no legal right to do because at that time there was no law that says you could not do what they did. Then the police knew that they were lawful within their rights, so the police gave them the guns back. At this time, they were outside, folks, doing their drilling. They weren't even inside the building. So when the Black Panther Party, I told this story before, when the Black Panther Party left Sacramento and was driving to get back to Oaktown, Oakland, California, the police followed them to a gas station, took the guns again a second time, and arrested them. They got arrested. So what I'm saying to you, this is the difference. Black people don't do no violence. We're well within our right. We get arrested. These suckers were tearing the damn joint up. And when they got there, they didn't even have any security fortified. Mayor Bowser, as one of the brothers in the chat room said, she was calling for there to be security in advance. And she's a black mayor. They weren't going to listen to her. You know what they did to her? It's what I've been saying. In America, we are culturally conditioned to see white is superior and black is inferior. And as a manifestation of that cultural conditioning, we will be underestimated, undervalued, and marginalized. White society does it to black society, and black society does it to itself because we're culturally conditioned. That's why they could do what they did today and get as far as they got to the point where they could have killed somebody in there today. Matter of fact, someone did die, a protester. They were willing to sacrifice themselves for this man that you see in the big old bobblehead right here, Donald Trump. I call him Dump Trump. They were willing to sacrifice themselves for this man. And that tells me that's what a cult is all about. You sacrifice yourself. You give of yourself for what you believe in, and you follow the orders of your so-called anointed leader. So what I'm saying to you is what Donald Trump has created is a code here. And now they're talking about evoking Article 25 or something like that. They're talking about that they could possibly do a impeachment on Donald Trump right now, because a lot of these politicians now that were riding with him are having second thoughts, because they're realizing, what have I gotten myself into? This fool is taking me down with him into the pits of hell. And I look at it like this, folks. What happened today had an impact on the overall country. I don't know what happened. I don't know if what happened today had an impact on black folks, because what happened today in the Capitol was about white people. It was white on white crime. Everybody likes to bump their gums and say, what about black on black crime? What you saw today in the capital of this country was white on white crime. White people fighting white people. Because if it had been black people fighting each other out there, they would have been calling it black on black crime, and they would have been saying, where's the preacher? Where's Jesse Jackson? Where's Al Sharpton? Where are your religious leaders to put you black folks in your place? So I want to know, why didn't they call for the white religious leaders to put these white folks in their place?
Tell the truth.
I said this before, as controversial as it sounds. I'm telling you right now, black people, we're not a threat to this country. Black men are not a threat to this country. It is the white male who is unhinged, undisciplined, who is angry about his place right now, who is angry that he's losing his grip on power in this society, because America is becoming less and less Caucasian, as this country is becoming more a country that's getting darker and darker and darker. And so white America, these particular white people that follow Donald Trump to the pits of hell, to the point that they could get themselves harmed. And some of those folks, if they get their hands on them, they're going to be the politicians are already saying, if they get the people that they are able to identify, they're going to bring heavy charges against them. We'll see. White males that follow this ideology, they are the threat to democracy. It never was black men or black people. It's not us. It's them. All my life, I'm a Generation Xer, ladies and gentlemen. All my life, I've been taught, and all of us, that America must be concerned about a threat coming from the outside in, meaning Russia, China, some country from the outside is going to invade and take us over. No, we're being invaded from the inside out, ladies and gentlemen. America is going to cannibalize itself. You've got militia in this country, white militia that are causing problems. You have white men that are blowing things up, like what happened on Christmas Day in Nashville. You've got white men blowing stuff up. You've got what you saw today with the angry white America storming the Capitol building because they felt that they were going to stop something. They truly thought that they were patriots out there today. They truly thought that they were in the spirit of 1976. They truly thought that they were back in the days of the Tea Party. They truly are in that type of mindset that they think that they are somehow patriots. And you know, you and I know, if black folks did the same thing in the name of being patriots, they'd have been like, shut your butt up, you in, get your butt in that jail. You're a common thug. Now we got Tiffany Jackson. What y'all think? What are y'all thinking about? What do y'all think? Do you agree or disagree with my sermon tonight? We've got Jay Sean, beautiful Tiffany Jackson, the beautiful Back to the Basics in the house. Yurima's in the house. What's going on? Divine TV's in the house. Greg Greg Harris is in the house. 2020 AM AIM in the house. Jay Dunn still in the house. We got Original Man in the house. Anybody that's in the house that's new to my channel, you know what to do. Subscribe. Hit the bell of notification. Matter of fact, let me do something real quick to make sure that you understand what I'm talking about. There it is. Pow, pow, and bang, bang. All right. So subscribe to the channel. Support a brother. Make sure, I've been telling y'all this, don't sleep on my second channel, the podcast channel, the Information Man Speaks podcast. Get over there. You can scroll down the page of my channel right now and you can subscribe to the second podcast channel. And I'm still working and trying to refine, because I've been doing a lot of thinking, you know, over the last few days. I'm still trying to see how I need to refine my content and change a few things, because we're in the year 2021 and you always want to keep improving. And, you know, I look at some of my videos and I say, I messed up on this. I got to improve this. So all my videos help me to improve and improve and improve what I'm trying to do. So I thank everybody that's in the house tonight. And remember, like I said, I got to promote this again like I'm Don King. I need y'all tomorrow evening, and I will send out, I'll put it in my community tab. I need y'all to come over and support my sister, Raw B, tomorrow. I will be live with her on her panel talking. We've got some explosive documents to go over and research about this COVID-19 and the fact that Biden's team, they were actually planning and plotting to definitely link the vaccine to black people and our benefits that we get and all this sort of thing. So I need y'all to come over in full grove tomorrow to her channel. I'll be putting in the community tabs. I'll be putting it out into the IG page. I need folks to come over tomorrow evening. Go over to her channel, subscribe. I need y'all to come over there. Need more people from my channel to come over to her channel, because I'm going to be on the panel. Me, her, Brother Q. We're going to get into it. It's intelligent talk over there. Intelligent talk, not nonsense. You know that I don't get into nonsense over here on my channel, and I'm going to stay that way. And I appreciate everybody in the chat room that's been coming through tonight. Let's see. We got Chris. Yeah, thank you for putting that in there. I should have said that in the first place, Mods. If y'all can put that link in there, I really appreciate that. Okay, we got Urema said, cancel all evil beings and manifestations. You're right. I agree with that.
Tell the truth.
You should always cancel all evil things and manifestations. So check this out. Like I said, you know, if sometimes it comes down to having the right complexion for the protection, ladies and gentlemen. You can get away with certain things that other people can't get away with, and that's just the way it is in this society. I'm curious to see how this whole thing is going to work itself out, play itself out. Now, you see this guy here. He was inside the chambers. He's got that Viking outfit on and what have you. Can you imagine if a brother was walking around with some furs on? He would have been arrested. He would have been nabbed by the coppers before he could even walk through the door dressed like that. But I'm going to say it again. The thing that really blew me away about this whole thing that happened is the fact that, you know, out of all that anarchy that was going on, you didn't see any of these folks destroy the photos, the framed pictures of their ancestors in there. That show you. So that showed you that they still had some respect for their history, and they're doing all this Spider-Man stuff like this. So let me go ahead and show you the 6-minute video footage to kind of add to what I'm talking about tonight, to add to the nonsense of what you witnessed in the Capitol, because Donald Trump put a battery in their backs and they ran with it. And this is just the facts. So let me go ahead and play this video. And I appreciate you all being here tonight. All right, folks. So this video goes into what I'm talking about. I want you to look at this video very carefully. Now, when I watched this video, you had one black guy, one fair-skinned brother that was out there, out in this crowd. I said to myself, what is this boy doing out there? Then you had the guy looked like he was Middle Eastern, and he was all like, this is our country. And I'm saying to myself, this guy is Middle Eastern. Don't he know they don't like you? They don't like you too. All right. But it's just funny to me when you see other ethnic groups in these kind of crowds like this, and half the time these folks don't even like your butt too. But this is the thing. As you watch this and you watch all the bullshit that's going on this video, say something to you. Ask yourself this: imagine if this was black folks doing all of this behavior, they probably would have shot us with a gun and called it a day. And with that said, let me get ready to drum roll everything the way it should be, ladies and gentlemen.
Information is power.
And here we go.
Information is power.
USA! USA! USA!
For 4 years, we have witnessed turmoil in America, but nothing quite like this. The pro-Trump crowd fought with the police, trying to break through their lines, intoxicated by the unlikely prospect of reversing America's election outcome. We watched as the standoff continued for at least an hour. Tear gas canisters were fired from the very stage on which Joe Biden will be inaugurated. But for Capitol Hill police officers, this was a losing battle.
This is exactly what was feared, but in no way is this a surprise. It has been fueled by the president's rhetoric, and it's increasingly clear this election has not healed the wounds. It has simply amplified them.
We followed the aggrieved and infuriated Trump supporters as they stormed the building. Through broken windows and doors they had forced open. And for a few heady moments they felt they had won a precious victory. They were now in the very heart of the Congressional building. What's the purpose of storming Congress itself?
Because they work for us. They don't get to steal it from us. They don't get to tell us we didn't see what we saw. We respect the law. We were good people. The government did this to us. We were normal, good, law-abiding citizens, and you guys did this to us. We want our country back.
So right there, you see this guy. He looks like he's Middle Eastern. He's very upset. And wasn't there a couple years ago, they were talking about they wanted Muslims out of this country. I think even Donald Trump put a Muslim ban on, right? So you have, it amazes me how you see people of other ethnic backgrounds that get themselves involved in this kind of stuff, and they don't even realize it. You know, a lot of these people don't even like you, man. Let me go back. I know that I'm sorry if I was talking earlier, and then I realized that my mic was off. So I apologize for that. But this is what I was talking about. The young man right here, the young black male right there. So I'm wondering to myself, well, what is he doing out here? What has this got to do with you, young man? And what I was saying when I was muted and thought that y'all could hear me is that a lot of people don't notice what they did out there. A lot of people don't know that Benjamin Banneker is responsible, a black man, for making the first clock. Benjamin Banneker is the one who laid out the design for Washington, D.C. He's responsible for it. It was a black man. He's responsible for the complete design of it because he used that Egyptianology. He used that Afrocentric knowledge, dark matter knowledge, to lay out the design of Washington, D.C., which this Capitol building sets on, okay? Benjamin Banneker. But you didn't, nobody talks about that. Benjamin Banneker is also, and black people are responsible, black slaves are responsible for building the White House. So when we literally say that we've built this country, nobody's built this country like black people. I was also saying that it was black people who built the railroads. The Chinese didn't come over here and finish up areas of the railroad, which was really in the western hemisphere of the country. By the time they brought the Chinese over here to do those parts of the railroad, most of the railroad was built in this country by black people. We built the White House. One of our ancestors, Benjamin Banneker, he was involved in the construction and the design of Washington, D.C. And you know, back in the day when they were building all this stuff, they didn't have white men building this stuff. They had black people building this stuff. They had black people working as smiths, working as steel smiths and being able to do masonry type work. We were the ones doing all that work and laying it all down. I wonder if this young man knows that history as he's inside this chamber, and why he's in here talking about we want our justice and all that kind of stuff. I wonder if he knows how many of the pictures that are hanging in the room of white politicians that are hanging in this Capitol are white men who had slaves. White men that if they were alive today, they would see him as a slave and put him in a plantation. And because he's a lighter skinned brother, they probably would put him in the house and make him a house you know what. So let me get back to this, move this back to where we last left off at right here. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
The purpose of storming Congress itself.
Because they work for us. They don't get to steal it from us. They don't get.
Now, he is right. The Congress and the Senate and the government does work for the people. We don't work for them. But what they did today, like I said, folks, if this was black people that did this, they would have shot us on sight.
To tell us we didn't see what we saw. We respect the law. We were good people. The government did this to us. We were normal, good, law-abiding citizens, and you guys did this to us. We want our country back. We are protesting for our freedom right now. That's the difference.
Now, like I said, that guy looks like he's of the Arab persuasion. My question is this. When you hear people saying, I want my country back, you don't hear a lot of black people in this country saying that. You don't hear a lot of us saying this whole thing about we want our country back, because Black people in America, we have never been whole in America. America has never made us whole. They have never paid the reparations that they owe ADOS. They have never been respectful to us. So black people have never been in a position to say we want our country back, because we live in a country that our ancestors have fought in every war, from the Revolutionary War. No other group can claim that. From every war this country's ever had, and we've never been treated as citizens, first of all. So for us to even be able to say we want our country back, first of all, we haven't even been treated as citizens, as black people in America. So it's kind of interesting to hear people like this guy say, we want our country back. What do you want your country back from? What do you want? What do you want? Because the last time I checked, white America is in control of everything in this country, from the money to the institutions, the military, everything. They control everything. So what is it that you want when you control everything? Just a thought.
Purpose of storming Congress. How do I know that? They reached and entered the Speaker's office itself, although Nancy Pelosi and other lawmakers had already been evacuated to safety. There you go, brother. As we filmed, protesters tore down Pelosi's nameplate. And so here we are right now inside the halls of Congress. This is exactly what so many anticipated, and yet the Capitol Hill police are doing their best, but failing to control the situation.
We all know that they changed the rules mid-game, and they're not being held accountable, and that's a shame.
What's your message to the Capitol Hill police and to lawmakers here?
This is our country, this is our house. That's it. This is our house. This is our country. This is our country.
Inside the chamber itself, there was chaos. Agents hastily...
Now, when they repeat over and over again, this is our country, this is our country, and we know that Donald Trump puts a lot of dog whistles out since he got elected from the very beginning, you have to ask yourself, what is the real underlying meaning in the subliminal messaging and what you're hearing in a lot of these folks saying over and over again, this is our country, this is our country, over and over again. What do you think, folks? What's the subliminal messaging there?
Blocking the doors with furniture to keep the protesters out. Officers ready to open fire as a last resort. In the galleries, people took shelter. The great constitutional showdown in Congress had to be suspended.
Madam Speaker, members of Congress, pursuant to the Constitution and the laws of the United States.
A little earlier, the passions in America's political schism were on display as Trump loyalists acted to stop the certification.
I rise for myself and 60 of my colleagues to object to the counting of the electoral ballots from Arizona.
But I would urge to both sides perhaps a bit less certitude and a bit more recognition that we are gathered at a time when democracy is in crisis.
But the plea to suspend certification of the election was fiercely contested by the leader of the Senate, who broke definitively with Trump.
This election were overturned by mere allegations from the losing side, our democracy would enter a death spiral. We'd never see the whole nation accept an election again.
100 miles away in Delaware, President-elect Joe Biden pleaded for the intervention of the one man who could halt this.
I call on President Trump to go on national television now to fulfill his oath and defend the Constitution and demand an end to this siege, to storm the Capitol, to smash windows, to occupy offices, the floor of the United States Senate, rummaging through desks, on the Capitol, on the House of Representatives, threatening the safety of duly elected officials. It's not protest, it's insurrection.
Indeed, amid the chaos of this afternoon, shots were fired, and one protester badly wounded.
No, Yeah, he's right. It's insurrection, but they really need to call it what it is. It's white on white crime, and it's white, particularly white men, white America, that is angry. And when I say white America, I'm talking about white America that represents Donald Trump, white America that's following Donald Trump, white America that believes in Donald Trump and his cultism, white America that's willing to do any and everything that this man tells them to do, even at the risk of their own life. A white America that feels that America should stay just like that. White America. I got to be honest and tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
The circumstances are not clear, but it is proof of how perilous it remains here tonight. This morning, the president spoke to the crowd in front of the White House, repeating his false claim that the election was stolen.
All of us here today do not want to see our election victory stolen by emboldened radical left Democrats, which is what they're doing, and stolen by the fake news media. That's what they've done and what they're doing. We will never give up. We will never concede. It doesn't happen. You don't concede when there's theft involved.
The cost of that rhetoric is increasingly clear. As crowds tonight are still swirling around Congress. And America's long journey as a stable democracy appears to be in genuine doubt.
Information is power.
Tell the truth.
Information is power. You are listening to Information Man. Please make sure to subscribe to his channel. Is power. The truth.
Tell the truth.
All right, folks, I want to thank you for, I'm going to get ready to end it right there, end the program right there. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being willing to put up and listen to some of my preaching tonight and sermon. I had to come from the gut with it. And I'm going to say this again. I'm not saying that we're supposed to feel all emotional about what happened because, like I said, what actually happened out there had nothing to do with us. This had to do with those that follow Donald Trump, that believe in the Kool-Aid that he sells, and they were willing to do it at the depths of breaking into the Capitol, and you saw it yourself today, all the reports. They were willing to do any and everything, and my whole premise tonight is that, wow, could you imagine if black people did something like that? How far could we really get? I already broke down to you the history and the stories and the thoughts that they always have been afraid that we would be the ones that would do what they did today. And yet we are not the ones, we are not the ones that have ever done something like that. And as a reminder, and you're going to be hearing about this all tomorrow, they're going to be breaking down, how did this happen? Why was there not enough security? They're going to be talking about why were some of the police taking selfies? Yes, some of the police were taking selfies with these people before it started to really break out like it did. So why are the police in this country, law enforcement, taking such a hands-off approach, such a lax approach when they're dealing with Donald Trump supporters? Because when it came to the Black Lives Matter folks out there, and particularly black people, when it comes to us protesting, they come down on us real hard. Remember Ferguson, when black people were protesting in Ferguson after what happened to Michael Brown, and they sent all that militarized policing into there, and they did everything they could to neutralize people. They neutralized us. They didn't really neutralize these folks. It wasn't until later into the evening, when it was starting to get dark in Washington, D.C., that they finally got the SWAT team and all this other reinforcement to show their butts up. I thought that was really interesting, the approach that they took and how long it took them to get that type of security out there, considering what was going on, when you can look at protests that black people have specifically been involved in, where they will jump on us as quick as possible to neutralize us. I find it very fascinating how that all works out, but we know what that all is about, ladies and gentlemen. Let me say peace and love to Black Man who's come in the house. Anita B is in the house. Original Man. We got 12 Veils in the house. Christina is in the house. Thank you, sister, for being here. We got 2020 AIM. We got brother DOD is in the house. Tanya's in the house. She says, good morning, Information Man and everyone. Thank you. DOD, peace to you, brother. Let me see. Oh, I got a super sticker from Back to the Basics. You know what that means, folks. Oh, man. Thank you, Back to the Basics. That's wonderful. Let me go ahead and get this going before I end the night, because you definitely hooked me up there. Yeah.
Time to run it all. I wake up. Yeah.
Thank you for the
wake
super
up,
chat.
Flex, thumb down, now check. No drip, this wet. Tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell them run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down, now check. No drip, this wet. Tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell them run it up. 9 out of 10 roll through my hands. I'm by my lonely. Turn to a savage. Now my baby wants to hold me. I love my fans. Don't need no friends. I got my homies. Thought I could trust you. I find out you tried to zone me. I'm number one up on that court. I'm Nick McGrady. The first one in, the last one out. Can't call me lazy. Put in my hours, send the invoice, and they pay me. I need 6 rings like MJ and Tom Brady. I wake up, flex, thumb down, now check. No drip, this wet. Tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell them run it up. I wake up, flex, thumb down, now check. No drip, this wet. Tell them run it up. No sleep, no rest. Might crash, might wreck. But first I stretch. Tell them run it up. Y'all gon' make me take that trip way out to Europe. I call up Nigeria, come through in a hurry.
All right.
Those London boys don't come to play, you should get worried. One false move, find yourself and getting buried. Dance with the devil, used to love playing.
All right. Thank you for the super chat. Back to the Basics. Fantastic. Fantastic. You know I love that. I love to play the song, the music, and the video. And I love it.
I wake up, flex, thumb down, now check. No drip, this wet. Tell them run it up.
All right, I love it. I know it's late for everybody, so I'm about to end this. But let me give some shout out to my man Earl Owens again. Back to the Basics for the super chat. Brother DOD's in the house. Black Man. We got Northern Bells in the house. She says good night, Info Man. Everyone, thank you, Northern Bell, for coming through. You must have got timed out or something like that, or something at some point in time. But thank you for being here. We got my man Joe Winfield. Thank you, Joe, for coming by, brother. It's always good to see you when you come by too, brother. So don't be a stranger. Tanya again, 2020 AIM, Black Man again, Anita B, 12 L's, Earl Owens, Christina, Crystal's in the house. Let me see who Original Man and Tiffany Jackson. And everybody that's come through. Six Figure Daves was in the house. Six Figure Daves, thank you for being here. Six Figure Daves. Sorry if I did not shout you out before. I just noticed you now. I'm scrolling up to see if there's anybody that I missed this evening. And Marlo's music channel came in the house earlier this evening, and I appreciate that, brother. So let me get on out of here. Thank you for coming over, everybody. It's been great. We're going to keep this thing going. Make sure, as you know, I always say, subscribe to the channel and also share this in your social media, your Twitter. If you're a YouTuber, share it in your community page, share it in your Facebook, your Instagram, share it everywhere you can. That's how you grow channels. People that are content creators in the chat room, do me the biggest favor. You need to write people's names down and go to their channel and subscribe to their channel, because there's content creators that are in there right now. And this is how you grow channels. This is how you help each other. So everybody have a good night. I'll be back with more presentation. And remember, as I said, come on over to Raw B's channel tomorrow evening, because I'm going to be on her panel. We're going to be getting into some deep material, some stuff that you all need to hear, need to be aware of, because they've been hiding this information from us as it relates to this COVID-19 and how they wanted to kind of make black people in particular take this with the goal of it being contingency on you getting your WIC program and all that kind of stuff. So please come on over to Raw B's channel. I'm going to put it in the community tab tomorrow. I'm going to shout it out through my social media, and we're going to be going hard over there. I want you all to come on over there tomorrow for that and give her support. With that said, I appreciate you all being here. Thank you for supporting the Information Man show. And let me put on some tunes here, and so we can get on out of here like so. So let me see here. Here we go. Let's get on out of here, folks. Take care.
Take me in your arms, do just what you want. You're the one I trust. I belong to you, and I'll always be around when I need some loving, baby. And I'll never let you down, let you down. I'm your song, and you're playing all my melodies. There's no one else, 'cause baby, we got chemistry. You give me feelings that I never knew. This heart of mine will always and forever belong to you. You and me were meant to be as one. The universe has known it all along. Maybe this is where our story starts. Maybe it was written in the stars, written in the stars. You, me, forever, yeah. You, me, written in the stars. You, me, forever, yeah. Take me to your heart, take me to your soul. Never drawn apart, 'cause I belong to you. Be my guiding star, 'cause I need your loving, baby. And never let me down, let me down. I'm your song, and you're playing all my melodies. There's no one else, 'cause baby, we got chemistry. You gave me feelings that I never knew. This heart of mine will always and forever belong to you. You and me were meant to be as one. The universe has known it all along. Maybe this is where our story starts. Maybe it was written in the stars, written in the stars. You, me, forever, yeah. You, me, written in the stars. You, me, forever, yeah. You, me, written in the stars. You, me, forever, yeah. You, me, written in the stars. You and me, information is You're my mirror, I can finally see, bringing out the best in me. Yeah, I don't want no problems, but I know I got a lot of work to do. Baby, I'm not perfect, but I know I'm worth it, working out my issues with you, with you. Crutches, I be holding grudges, can't let go of any mistakes. Distant, sometimes I get distant, stay away as long as it takes. Forgive my attitude, I need my cake and eat it too, but a little time will be enough for me to prove that baby you the remedy. You're my mirror, I can finally see, bringing out the best in me. Yeah, I don't want no problems, but I know I got a lot of work to do. Baby, I'm not perfect, but I know I'm worth it, working out my issues with you, with you. My highs and my lows.
Tell the truth.
It's part of being human. Can you weather the storm? I'm starting to believe you can, 'cause baby, you the remedy. You're my mirror, I can finally see, bringing out the best in me. Yeah, I don't want these problems, I know I got a lot of work to do. Baby, I'm not perfect, but I know I'm worth it, working out my issues with you. Information is power.
Empty bottles of red wine laying on the floor from last night. We got a little drunk, yeah. Now I'm a little numb. Spending hours by your bedside, talking till it's dark out somehow. Can get you off my mind. Don't wanna say goodbye, bye, bye, bye. Maybe we should take it slow. I don't feel too comfortable jumping into something new right now. Yeah, I don't really know anymore how to feel something again. Think I'm just scared of falling. Don't wanna go all in. I don't really know anymore how to be more than your friend. Think I'm just scared of falling. Don't wanna go all in. Early mornings in your dome, I'll be sneaking out the door while the sun rises. 'Cause I ain't got the time, yeah. Can't tell another lie. And baby, I know you want more than this, but you know I can't afford your kiss. So I'm staying for the night, but then I gotta say goodbye, bye, bye. Maybe we should take it slow. I don't feel too comfortable jumping into something new right now. I don't really know anymore how to feel something again. Think I'm just scared of falling. Don't wanna go all